Hi, I'm Kelly Searing, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you're a veteran, thank you for your service. Today we're going to talk briefly about some of the myths that are out there about using the VA home loan to purchase your home or refinance. So I'm going to get right to it. The first thing, the biggest myth, is that you need perfect credit to be approved, which is not true. The VA does not actually set a specific credit score, but they do train underwriters who are out there that are underwriting these loans to make their best judgment. So these underwriters are going to be looking at how you've paid your credit in the past and how you're paying it currently. I have seen loans get approved in the high 500s, so don't let that scare you away. Let someone that's a professional look at it. Number two, the second myth, only combat veterans are eligible. This is also not true. We see active duty, honorably discharged, reserve, and National Guard, which those you definitely want to check with your commanding officers on. It's a little different. A surviving spouse can use the VA loan one time after the veteran has passed. Also, Academy cadets or midshipmen, also NOAA officers, as well as PHS officers. The third myth that I want to talk about is that you can only use it one time. This is, of course, false. You can use the VA home loan multiple times, and sometimes, in some cases, you can use it on more than one property. That's something that we'll need to talk about in the specific circumstances, but it is something that's true. Number four, the myth, the VA appraisal takes too long. VA appraisals take no longer than a conventional appraisal. Number five, VA loans have unexpected out-of-pocket costs, and I think I hear this one more than anything. Typically, this is because the veterans haven't been told that there's a VA funding fee. The funding fee is different depending on if it's a first-time purchase or a subsequent purchase. It's also different if you're doing a refinance, and then that varies based on cash out, or if you're just doing a rate reduction. But there are no other costs. There's actually probably less costs on VA loans than there are normal loans. And the funding fee is actually exempt if you are 10% or more disabled through the VA. The sixth myth that I've heard is that there's too much government red tape. VA actually, as a government, the Veterans Association, they do not get involved in the mortgages. We actually have underwriters on staff that are licensed to be VA underwriters, so it's just with us, and it's the same process as if we were doing a conventional or an FHA loan. Myth number seven, you're limited to what you can do with your benefits. This is also not really true. You can do single family dwellings, condos, you can even do multi, so like a duplex or a quadplex, which is 4. You can have up to 4 units per VA borrower. So if you're a veteran and your spouse is a veteran, you could do up to 8. You can do cash out, and you can do interest rate reduction loans. In some cases, you can do land, not land alone. The land would have to have a home on it that's VA approved. But what we look for on those is on the appraisal, and you want to make sure that the land value is not higher than 30% of the total. The eighth myth that I found was that veterans have higher interest rates, and this couldn't be farther from the truth. My husband is a veteran, and we're very fortunate to have a VA loan, and we have an excellent interest rate. I do several VA loans usually every month, and they are the best out there. If a veteran is putting down 20% or more, sometimes a conventional loan can be better, but I've only seen that one time in 15 years. So typically the VA rates are the best of any product that we have. The ninth myth that we hear is that most veterans don't qualify. So just to kind of wrap your head around that thought, in 2016, there were 705,474 VA loans originated. All those mortgages totaled for $179 billion. Most veterans I talk to are approved the minute that we talk. And if they're not, it's typically a really easy process to get them to the point that they are approved. And we will not say no unless it's absolutely not ever possible in your lifetime. The last myth that I want to cover today is that the VA occupancy rules are too hard on active duty. So what I want you to know is typically with a VA loan, you have to occupy the property within 60 days. But if you are active military, you can get an extension for up to 12 months. But if you have a spouse or children that will be living in the home, then none of that matters because they're part of you, and that doesn't matter at all. A couple of highlights about the VA loan: there is no private mortgage insurance. There is no down payment required. There are no funding fees, so this is the fee the VA charges. There is no funding fee if you have 10% disability or more with the VA. The closing fees are limited. There are a lot of fees that are on other loans that veterans aren't charged. The seller can pay your closing costs. There's no penalty to pay the loan off early or make extra payments. And should you have trouble in the future making payments on your VA loan, there is VA assistance for that. The one thing that I do want to talk about that we have special here at my office that isn't available at every lender is that we have 2 different grants every year. We have one available right now and one available in the spring, and different things that come about through the year. And those grants are typically $10,000. You can use that towards principal reduction of your loan or towards closing costs. So if you are in a market where the sellers don't typically pay closing costs, you can apply for one of these grants, and if you qualify, that can cover it and you're getting in the house with 0. I am Kelly Searing. I can be reached at 615-812-5577, or you can look me up online through Google, Kelly Searing, that's Cearing, or you can go to my website at www.kellyleads.com. Thank you so much for watching. Again, thanks to the veterans for your service. We so appreciate you, and everyone have a great day.